Hello there, vinyl community and YouTube. JorgenS here. There's a thread going on in the vinyl community called the Vinyl Tag, with 20 questions that if you want to we can answer, and there are many vinyl community members that have answered this in numerous videos, so I thought, why not? I like answering questions, so it's very good fun to answer these questions, even though I've answered many of them before in previous videos, and I will be showing a lot of records that I've been showing numerous times in previous videos. But the records I like, so why not? I don't know the full origin of this tag, where it came from and who started it, but always fun, as I said, to answer questions. So let's start with answering these 20 questions with number one: how many records do you own? And that is one of the most ordinary questions that I get from people I know, who asked, how many records do you own? Like I'm living database and have all the figures in my head. But I'm doing a little count. Now I haven't counted all my records. I've counted the posts in my database because I have them there also. But there aren't this number isn't total accurate, because I haven't written in all my newest purchases yet. So there are some. Will be a little bit more later on, but it is vinyls, full-length vinyls, 1500 type, sort of. CDs 1057, CD singles 718, and 7-inch singles 3,456. Those are the latest figures in my database. And then of course I have about 178s. I have a couple of cassettes, albums on cassettes also. So if I'm going to count these also. What kind of record player do you have? And I've shown that one in my intro numerous times. But I have a Sony, an older, and it looks like this. You recognize this? Number 3, how old were you when you started collecting records? When I started seeing myself as a collector, I don't know, but I bought my first record when I was 11, and my goal at that time also was to buy all the favorite songs that I have on the record one day. So I was 11 when I bought my first record. What is the oldest record that you own? I don't know which oldest vinyl that I have, but record overall, I took the liberty of showing and take it from there. And that one is 78, as far as I know. I may be wrong, but I think this is the oldest one. This is Benny Berrigan's and his orchestra, The Prisoner's Song. And this 78 is made, I think this version is made that year in 1937. I think when it comes to vinyl, it might be some jazz, of course. But, maybe it is my Birth of the Cool by Miles Davis. Maybe that's that one. 51, I think. Number 5. What is the first record you ever got? I don't have that one anymore. I think it is some kind of album with someone reading some kind of a fairy tale, collection of fairy tales and fables that I got when I was a kid. Emperor's New Clothes and so on. I don't have that one anymore. If I'm going to show anything, I might show this one. Wham's Freedom. It was the first 7-inch single that I ever got. A birthday present in 1984, when I turned 10 years old. I got it from a neighbor to friends and family. Not the best Wham single, but it's a start of a collection. The first record that I got with my own money, and I've shown this numerous times, numerous times, but it's a great one. I love it, and I can show it numerous times again. It's this one, Paul Hardcastle's self-titled from 1985. I got it 1 year later, I think, and it costed me around $6 or $7. Favorite colored vinyl. I don't have all that much colored vinyl. It's not because I have anything against it. It can be pretty cool. But those genres that I normally buy the most records, those genres that I normally buys the most records in, jazz, 70s and 80s, at least 70s and jazz, aren't all that much colored vinyls. And also it's not something that people are leaving to thrift store and second-hand stores, which are the places that I only can buy records from here in Sundsvall. So I have a hard time finding all that much colored vinyls. But I have a couple of few examples. One of the few colored vinyls on full-length albums. This Chris Rea album from '79, Deltex. It's released on blue vinyl. And of course, one of my favorites is this jukebox release of Sleeping in My Car by Roxette from '94 on nice yellow vinyl. Discount album. Very tough question, since I buy very often records that are discounted. But I think my favorite discounts album I made, I think it was 2013 or something like that. It was 12 or 13 at a market where they sell normally electronics, but also at the time sold records. And they had a sellout of some very interesting newer newer records that that costed a whole lot more. That was very special, and they had lowered it to around $4 or $5. And I was very happy when I was able to find, because this one I think was pretty expensive normally. I think we're talking about around maybe $20 in normal. Depeche Mode's Tour of the Universe, Barcelona in 2009 it was recorded. And this one is, as you can see, both DVD and a double CD set. DVD is fantastic. I mean, even here Dave Gahan is getting a little bit older and still have a whole lot of fantastic energy. And nice one. I was very happy to find it, and I think I made it the finding of the year that year when I got it. And at the same day, same time as I bought this one, I also bought this one, The Pretenders. And this is a double CD set, a special one released for the band's 30th anniversary, that contains both the greatest hits and their then latest album, Break Up the Concrete. So two very special releases for a very low price of $4 or $5 each. My price possession. I don't have all that much record. Much of the channels that I buy aren't worth all that much on Discogs or something like that. So I don't have all that much. But I've shown this one a whole lot of times. Pet Shop Boys Birmingham 91 bootleg. Last time I checked, and I think I shown it in a previous video, a contest. So but then I think the value of it was around $20 or something like that. Record by a female artist. I could have picked anyone. I mean, it's a very, very huge question. I mean, there are so many that I could pick. So, but I felt like promoting a female artist that I discovered pretty lately. I think I discovered her last year. I realized, I bought my first albums by her, and I realized that she was really, really good. And it's the 70s soul. Is Linda Clifford. Let Me Be Your Woman. And this one is distributed by RCO, but it's released on Curtis Mayfield's own album, Cartoon, own label, Cartoon. And Linda Clifford made a whole lot of records on Curtis Mayfield's label. I have found two of them so far. This one is really funky, real good, and has only one. This double album has only one bad thing, and that is the 10 minutes long version of Bridge of Troubled Water that I don't think fit in a disco soul version. I think that one is pretty horrible. But that one is the only downside. The rest of the album is very funky, very much soul, and I really, really like her voice. And today a very forgotten star, Linda Clifford, one of Curtis Mayfield's protégés. Record by my favorite band. That one was the easy one. I think many have realized that even though I mentioned a lot of favorite bands, Level 42 and Pet Shop Boys and so on, that my absolute favorite band is Depeche Mode. And then of course my favorite album by Depeche Mode is Violator. So that one was the easy one. A really synth classic, so amazing produced and fantastic melodies. An impulse buy. I was thinking of this one. This is one of the few records that I have on the label Impulse. JJ and Johnson and K. Winding album on Impulse label. It wasn't that was meant. No, wait a minute. I misunderstood the question. Of course. Lucky that I picked some other records just in case. Just kidding. Impulse buy. There's a lot of impulse or blind buys that I've done through the years, but the one that I thought was the most interesting was these records that I bought at the Sundsvall Record Fair many years ago. This is Japan synth pop group. This is Gentleman Takes Polaroids and Tin Drum from 1980 and 81. And as everybody know, I'm a huge fan of British 80s new wave and synth pop. But Japan was a band that I haven't discovered all that much. I haven't barely listened to anything by them before I bought this one. And I saw this one for not such a expensive price, and I thought to myself, I got an impulse of I gotta have this one and give Japan a chance. I felt like it would be strange if I haven't got a Japan album. So I made an impulse buy and bought these two, both of them at the same time, and made me realize that I like Japan very, very much. Fantastic band, really relaxing and so magnificent albums. This one contains a song called Night Porter that I think is so amazing and great. Really experimental and so fantastic, well made. Where are we? Number 13, A Gift. Well, I can show these two that I've shown just recently. The gifts from Jenny, B-Sides, VCLT, Jimmy Smith, The Boss, and the Private Meeting. And I also have a couple of gifts from a friend at the work, Thomas. Hello, Thomas. That I think was very, very great, that I got for free. Joe Jeffrey, by Pledge of Love, 60s soul record, and we have Greatest Hits by Jack Jones, really nice singer. So these two. So always fun with free records. Most played records, another one that I've shown numerous times, but I think at least once a year I listen to this record, even to this date, because I have so much childhood nostalgia with this record, and it is so fantastic. Alphaville, Forever Young, one of the best albums ever. Well, I think I know all of these tracks in and out, and I think all of these are so magnificent. Big in Japan single might be a little bit overplayed, but it's so magnificent made. Number 15, A Rarity. Here I couldn't show the Pet Shop Boys album once again, but how fun would that be to show the same records twice? So I picked this one. I think it's a rarity. I haven't checked all that up. As I said, I don't buy all that much rarities. But this bootleg, the new rehearsals and full versions YouTube, this bootleg, really, really great and interesting, from 91, containing records made during rehearsals, recordings made during rehearsals. A Rainy Day Records. I like to listen to cool jazz when it rains. I think it is so relaxing when it's raining. And I think I remember when I was a kid, and I was with my parents, moving away a bit from the light. I remember when I was a kid, and I spent my summer in our summer residence in Örnsköldsvik, around 2 hours way up north from here. And when I was a kid, and it was raining during some of the days, I remember listening to the jazz documentary about pianist Lenny Tristano, and on cassette, and thinking that the music that was played in that documentary, and it was the documentary that made me discover old jazz, that music was so really calming and relaxing when it was raining. So the music from those recordings have been really, really rain music for me, and I found these, as you know, on vinyl, the music from that documentary. The Lost Sessions, Earl Swoop Sextet featuring Lenny Tristano. And this is really, really nice and great jazz that I think is suitable for rainy days. Really, really cozy to listen to on a rainy day. Feel-good albums. Most records make me feel good, so kind of picked 70s Soul, makes me feel good, and couldn't pick the Jimmy Smith album that make me feel good, but I've already shown Jimmy Smith albums. But albums that really makes me feel good is Hammond organ music. And Jimmy Smith of course plays Hammond organ, but in this case I mean those more easy listening style. Talking about, well, we have Niels Tibor, Hammond Party. This is making a take 3 songs and put them together in a mix. But I played these songs, and I think the sound of a real Hammond organ playing all these hits to a little nice little jazzy groove or Schlager groove, whatever you like to call it. I think that one is very makes me feel good. It's very relaxing and makes me feel very comfortable and make me feel great. So we have here Niels Tibor, German organist. We have here, I think one of my first Hammond albums, Arvid Sundin, Swedish Hammond player. Arvid Sundin på Hammond med gitarr, bas och trummor. Or we have this one that I actually discovered on YouTube. Someone had put up this entire record on YouTube, and I found it and thought it was really great, and I was so happy to find it on a physical format, in a real copy on record. This is the Fabulous 5 organ and percussion, Strangers in the Night. Really great. So this kind of relaxing Hammond organ music makes me feel really good if I'm a little depressed or something like that. A nostalgic record, very hard. Could have picked Alphaville of course again, but how fun would that be if I picked same record twice? So I was thinking many records are nostalgic from the 80s. Most of them are, but I picked this one. German singer, dance disco singer Sandra from the 80s, and her compilation 10 on 1 The Singles. I remember in the 80s, from the beginning, I didn't like her music at all, but in 1987, around that, 88, 87, I heard her version of Everlasting Love and her hit single Instant Love, and realized that this wasn't all that bad. And she was so gorgeous. Still think she's gorgeous. So I realized that I gotta have a record with her. So I went down to that record store that I bought my first record, to Leeds again, and found this one because I wanted her hits. So I bought this one, and I went outside and stood outside of the record store and picked out the record, and it was that little electric that came out, this little static, and the feeling, it was cold, the feeling of the record was a little bit cold, the feeling of holding a brand new vinyl in my hand, it was so magnificent, so fantastic, that I never forget that feeling when I bought this record and held a brand new record in my hand. Number 19, a record store day purchase, and that one was the easiest one. I don't have any, because as it was a long time ago since we have had any real record store here, and when we had our last record store here, record store day wasn't hardly invented here in Sweden yet. So I haven't been on any record store day, so I don't have any. A recent purchase. I haven't hardly bought any records since my last vinyl CD update, so I picked out a record that I showed in my previous vinyl CD update, and a record that I think is really good. Sarah Vaughan live in Japan. The piano trio consisting Carl Schroeder piano, John Gianelli bass and Jimmy Cobb drums from 1973. This one is a little special because if someone would have said to me when I started listening to jazz in 30 years ago, when I was highly enjoyed very much big band and swing and bebop, and that I would enjoy someone singing to live in a double album with a piano trio, I would have said you're crazy, because I was thinking that was pretty boring, yes. But today, I think when I'm 42 years old, I'm thinking that this one is really relaxing, really great. And even if Sarah Vaughan isn't my absolute favorite singer when it comes to voices, I think this one album actually have made me change my mind a bit about Sarah Vaughan, that she actually has done a lot of great recordings, even though I've never been a huge fan of her. So highly recommended if you like piano trio with the one voice live album, if you want a relaxing live album. So that was my answer. I hope that you have enjoyed these. I'm not sure what I'm going to show next. I know I'm in the middle of my culling, so it will be a culling video soon. But I hope that each and every one of you have a real nice time wherever you are, whenever you're watching this. So until next time, take care and see ya.